Grand Rising family. Welcome to HGW Community 72. The HGW stands for Homegrown Wellness Community 72. I am Miss B, Bohemian Soul, and welcome to the channel if you are here for the first time. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back, and thank you all for tuning in. So this morning, let me say, you all might hear like the sound of airplanes. So where I am at, where I live, I'm not too far from Bradley International Airport. So you may actually literally hear an airplane flying overhead. I'm at the mat doing laundry. I have a lot of linen to do, so it's just easier for it to be done at the laundromat, which I'm not a fan of, but you know, it's about making life easier, not harder, right? Has absolutely nothing to do with this video. So the topic of this video is, and it's a serious topic, it's not like nothing to be taken lightly. It is, why do men not take their physical health and mental health serious? Why don't men take their physical health and their mental health serious? And I'll be talking to personal experiences of the men in my life, mainly my dad, my brother, uncles, things like that. So, and how it affects, why don't they do it, how it affects everyone. And yeah, so I will also start by saying I am not a licensed therapist. I'm not a licensed doctor. I'm not an MD. I'm not a psychiatrist. What I am is a certified herbalist, and I will be incorporating my herbalism into this conversation, and how I have proof that they don't. So I've had customers. So I have customers, herbal customers, and it's very factual that men do not take their physical and their mental health serious. So I've had, the majority of my customers are women, but I do have men customers. And the women, they'll contact me about whatever ailment, condition, or disease they've been diagnosed with, get right on the herbal remedy regimen, and 9 times out of 10 they are healed. Most of the times from whatever ailment, condition, or disease that they came to me with. I've had men customers. I had one particular customer of mine, male customer of mine, who I'm going to tell a success story, and a story that would have been a success, but they don't complete it. Didn't complete the recommendation. So I had a customer that came to me, and he was dealing with sleep deprivation, had high blood pressure. Young man. He actually is the son of a very close family friend of mine. And when he came to me, father of 3, so there's that aspect. He's a dad. Him and the mother of his children are in a relationship. They're not married, but he is a father of 3, and he was in his mid-30s, relatively young in my opinion. And so he came to me with he was dealing with sleep deprivation or apnea, and really bad, and high blood pressure. We had the consultation, and his main concern was he knew that he was too young to have these conditions, this disease, right? And he wanted to go the natural way about it. And he had been dealing with these two particular incidents or conditions for the last several years. And so, like I said, I'm a local herbalist. So his mother, who gets her herbal remedies from me, kind of told him about me. Got on the regimen right away. And within his sleep deprivation, sleep apnea was healed in 3 weeks. So that was basically like immediate. And he went to his doctor. Blood pressure was leveled, balanced, and he still continually gets his herbal remedies. And he made some changes. Another man, who's actually my age, so he contacted me like 2 years ago, recommended by his sister. Here we go. There's the similarity, right? Always the woman making the suggestion to the man. Let's get your health in check. So with this, where I'm talking to the physical health aspect. So this brother contacted me, and I mean brother literally, because like I said, his sister recommended him to me. She's also a customer of mine, a client of mine. And he was dealing with ED. And if you don't know what ED is, it's erectile dysfunction. Now, I have some herbs that are roots. They're literally roots. And so he was dealing with ED. And I knew, after we had the consultation, I knew immediately that the majority of his problem was his diet. And again, I am not a clinically licensed doctor or anything, but there's just some things that I know. So anyhow, his diet played a major part in his ED. And his life factors. He was married legally. They were separated, rather, for like the third time. And they were in the state of being separated at this particular point. So I made him sea moss that was infused with chani root. And then I made him a tincture that was also infused with chani root, and two other herbs as well. That will immediately, just the sea moss alone will have a man in his 50s basically acting as if he was in his 20s again. And of course, he, like I said, that he is a father. A husband, dad too. Father separated now for the third time from he and his wife were separated, and they have two children. Same factors. Men, if you are a dad, if you are a husband, I cannot stress the importance of, we need you. We need you here healthy, physically and mentally. So he started the herbal remedies, and I will just say he saw results within the first 6 weeks. Now, mind you, he had been, gone to doctors and, of course, the prescription medication wasn't doing a thing. Within 6 weeks, he saw it was basically like he was taking Viagra, right? And but he didn't continue. He was getting his herbal remedies like every 3 weeks. And so his third time, which would have brought him into 9th week 9, You know, I reached out to him. Hey, you ready to place your order? Da 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 da. Didn't hear back from him. And so I have not heard from him. And you meet people where they are, and I'm not one to stress, but so that's 2 examples of the physical. And I will just say also, my dad died early. He died young, at the age of 68, which is young. And he died of congestive heart failure. Was a dad, was a husband as well. And he died of congestive heart failure. His congestive heart failure was due to years of smoking. Both of my parents were smokers. My mother passed of lung cancer due to smoking. But my dad died of congestive heart failure due to smoking and his diet. You know, he was an awesome man from Goldsboro, North Carolina. And he, put salt on everything, like everything. And his diet was a very typical black man, Southern diet. Wasn't the healthiest. And but that smoking, just clogged up those arteries and led to his congestive heart failure, which ultimately led to him passing. So at a young age, relatively young age. And then my brother passed, dropped dead of a heart attack 3 days before his 43rd birthday. And father of three boys at the time, boys, And so I'm going to wrap this up soon. And so I think that it is imperative that our men, because again, I can't stress that we need you, as daughters, as wives, as sisters, as partners. We need you here. We need you here healthy, mentally and physically. We need you here in that capacity. Men, and a lot of it has to do with society, men, in particular black men, I'll speak to that. I feel that is very unmanly or not masculine to even just go have a conversation with a therapist. I think that our men think that it is not masculine to go to your regular 6-month dental appointments, your once a year physical. A lot of these things, to exercise, to talk, to communicate with your mothers, your wives, your daughters, that these things may be going on. You may have some trauma that you need to work through, and you need to go and say, yeah, I'm 50 years old. Things are coming up, in my psyche that I never dealt with, but they're springing up, and, bae, I need to, let's make an appointment, or so I can go talk to somebody about it. Bae, I'm getting up in the middle of the night 3-4 times to go urinate. That's not a normal thing for men, that's like a red flag. Something's going on with the prostate, and it shouldn't take, you having a heart attack or you raging out because you have some mental health things that need to be checked on. It shouldn't take all of that. I think men need to get to a point where It is very masculine to be educated and to be concerned about your health, both mentally and physically. There's nothing wrong or not masculine about that. You know, like I said, I can't stress the fact that we women, your wives, your partner, your mothers, your daughters, we need you here. You know, it's not about I'm a man because I take care of the family, because I'm the provider in the family. It's not about that. It's not about that at all. Yes, we know that and we acknowledge that and we honor that. But culturally and in the society as well, we need y'all to get to the point where this also is a part about being masculine. It is masculine. Me being healthy in my physical, me being healthy in my mental, my soul and spirit as well. So that's what I want to talk to. We are men, from my point of view, our men are not taking their position in that aspect of being leaders or the head in presenting themselves or making sure that they're healthy physically and mentally as well. We need you in that capacity, not just in the financial capacity, not just in the role of being the protector and the provider, but before you can even be there like that in those roles, your health, both physically and mentally, need to be at the top and need to be at your priority. So that's what I just wanted to speak to this morning. I tend to talk slow, and this video is a lot longer than I wanted it to do or to be. So listen, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. I am definitely continually growing my channel. I have a goal to hit 1,000 subscribers by October of this year. And got a ways to go. So please, if you think this video would help someone, a man in your life, please share this video, like. Thank you if you have come back and you watched this. I appreciate you. Remember, as always, be great to yourself because you are great. Be great to your family. They deserve your greatness. Be great to your community. Without love, self-love first, we have absolutely nothing. And as always, clarity is key, but without consistency, we have no balance, family. Be well.